Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Yellow Room Podcast. I'm Nika Hansen, your host, and I want you all to be great. The Yellow Room is all about empowering you to unleash your full potential in every single aspect of your life. And I hope that you've received just that up until this point. If you consider yourself a part of this great Yellow Room community, be sure to do me a few favors. First, subscribe, rate, and review this podcast. Secondly, if you enjoy any of the episodes that I put out or today's episode, help me to extend my reach by sharing it with a friend or two. Again, thank you for tuning in. Hello, Yellow Room family. Welcome back to another episode of the Money Move series. Today, we will be talking all about business in the midst and culture of everyone aspiring to be a girl boss, an entrepreneur, all of those good things. There are oftentimes many things that are overlooked in, starting your own business and running your own business. So today, I brought a great guest along to discuss money and all things business. So we have Emerald Sparks. She's an award-winning personal and business finance expert, author, and speaker who works with individuals to become better financial stewards of their money, as well as with business owners to keep their profits and pay themselves a salary, because that is very important. From a wasteful spender to a financial savvy entrepreneur, Emerald takes her personal lessons and determination to inspire others to reach their financial greatness and solve their own misconceptions about money. As founder and chief financial strategist of Emerald Sparks Ltd., a personal and business financing consulting firm, Emerald has developed workshops and courses that has changed the trajectory of people's bank accounts, amen to that, mindsets, and wealth building journeys. Emerald is a self-published, best-selling author of Vision Future Reality, How to Budget Like a Boss, which provides a clear instructional guide of how to vision, budget, and make your money do what you want it to do, as well as the Create Sparks, a bossed up financial planner to maximize your income. Emerald is passionate about helping individuals and families create their own version of financial freedom through education, as it has been at the forefront of her life for many years. She started her financial plan and met with a financial advisor at the age of 19. She has continued to build and grow her plan as her goals and needs have changed. After 10 years of experience in the financial services industry for Fortune 500 companies and counseling her friends and family members about money management, she realizes that many people are confused on everyday financial matters such as budgeting, credit cards, insurance, taxes, debt, savings, bookkeeping, and etc. And she decided to serve, and she serves so effortlessly. Listen, excuse my tongue twisting shenanigans this week because I feel like pregnancy brain is real and it's really getting to me. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed today's episode. Hello, Yellow Room family. Thank you all so much for tuning in to another episode of the Money Move series. Today, we are getting down to business with a financial strategist. Her name is Emerald. She has a wealth of knowledge and a lot of experience inside of corporate America and outside of corporate America. So I just hope that you all, especially to all of you who are aspiring entrepreneurs and for those of you all who already have your own businesses, I hope that you all have some valuable takeaways to implement in your business today. But Emerald, if you could just go ahead and just introduce yourself to the Yellow Room family. Tell us about what you do, why you do it, all of that good stuff.
Okay, my name is Emerald, and I have been an entrepreneur for going on 5 years now. And my business is primarily now, it has changed. I used to do financial coaching, but now it has changed to help women solo entrepreneurs organize their finances, increase their revenues, and be tax ready all year long. So, with that said, in I guess regular people's terms, what I do, what does that mean? My business is a cloud based business. So, we do bookkeeping, we do taxes, we do payroll. I basically manage the entire financial aspect of businesses to make sure that you're paying yourself, you are set up with the right tax liability, that you're organized your finances, and that you know how much you're making month to month, what you're spending month to month, and things like that.
Gotcha. Now, I think that today, on social media especially, everyone wants to be a girl boss. Everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. Everyone wants to manage themselves. No one wants to work for anyone anymore, right?
Right.
But I think that a lot of people get caught up in like the status, or I guess the highlight reel of what they see other people who are entrepreneurs, like I guess they get caught up in like all of the pretty stuff, and a lot of people go into entrepreneurship, especially my friends who have their own businesses. Like they go in almost blinded, like that there's going to be rough days, there are going to be challenges or whatever, but you don't quite see the full picture until you're in the midst of it. And I think one of the biggest hiccups is when it comes to finances, right? So you leave corporate, let's say you're used to getting a paycheck, right? You're used to someone else logging your hours, logging what you do, all of that good stuff. But then you walk away and you're just in total control over everything you do. And a lot of people, especially starting out, are very hesitant to get like professional advice and have a professional to kind of be on their side for whatever reason. Maybe it's out of fear of, well, I don't know if I can afford this quite yet, or I don't know if I'll need that, or whatever it may be. So I think a lot of times people, especially it's tax season right now, and I'm seeing that a lot of entrepreneurs are like on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they're asking, like they're essentially crying out for help because they didn't track things the way that they should have throughout the year when it came to running their business. So if you can kind of talk about ways that entrepreneurs can, and even this is for aspiring entrepreneurs, please take note, but what are some ways that they can maximize their income?
So you touched on a lot of things that happen when people become an entrepreneur or want to become an entrepreneur. So I'm going to break that down by sections that I remember and then things that they can do. Okay, so first of all, being an entrepreneur is very glamorous on social media. You think you can create your own schedule. You see women with red bottoms and Chanel bags, and you're like, oh, that can be me. Entrepreneurship is the stupidest and the most smartest thing I've ever done in my life. It's also the most happiest and saddest I've ever been in my life. People don't understand that level of sacrifice. And I tell people all the time that becoming an entrepreneur or being an entrepreneur is almost like a privilege. So they're like, what? Because your support system has to be so strong when you are an entrepreneur, and the amount of sacrifices that you have to do or overcome, people don't realize that. So for instance, when I became an entrepreneur, at the time, I probably was making $40 an hour at my job. I went and took a job that paid me $9 an hour. Wow. That was they was like, you took a job as an entrepreneur? I was like, yeah, because I still had bills to pay. Then, on top of that, it wasn't the most glorifying work. I have a degree. I went to college. So you're talking about paying me $9 an hour. I'm like, people wouldn't do that. I didn't go shopping. I didn't go out to eat. Just sacrifices that I made for my day-to-day life that people take for granted when they get a paycheck every 2 weeks. I wasn't doing those things. people always come to me and say, well, how can I save and invest back into my business? There was no saving, when I became an entrepreneur. I was literally using every single dollar into my business and to pay my household bills. There was no savings. There was no investing. I cut all that stuff off. So people don't understand, like, you're going to be broke. You're going to be uncomfortable and you're going to be depressed. And that is the phase that they don't want to go through because they think that they see these overnight successes on social media when it really took people, 5 to 10 years to get to that, that millionaire status. Okay, so that's the first thing. So the thing that entrepreneurs don't want to do when they are first starting out is invest in understanding their finances. They are so excited to get a website. They are so excited to get a logo. They are so excited to pick colors and get t-shirts and all this stuff. And I ask, well, how are you going to bring money into your business to pay for all this stuff? It's like, well, they always want a business loan. I'm like, let me tell you something about the bank. The bank is a business. If you have no profits, no revenues, they are not going to give you a loan because you are passionate about your business. At the end of the day, the bank does not care what your business are. They care that you are going to pay that loan back. And if you have not established a track record, which is your finances in your business, to prove to them that you can pay that money back, they don't care how passionate you are about making t-shirts or whatever your business is.
Right.
So that's another thing. So QuickBooks, with all my clients, I set them up on QuickBooks. So all my bookkeeping clients, I'm a QuickBooks affiliate. I have a discount code, and I set them up on QuickBooks. I use QuickBooks. I like QuickBooks. I talk about QuickBooks. I recommend it. It is literally now, I think the cheapest package is, without the discount, is $10 a month. You will be surprised, and you probably are not surprised, that people do not want to pay $10 a month because of the fear of them saying, I can't make this payment every month. And I look at them and say, if you cannot generate $10 a month in your business, you do not need to be in business.
I was just about to say that. $10, you can't. If you have a profitable business, like $10 should be nothing.
Not even if you don't. When people say, when do I need QuickBooks? I say immediately, because you can take $10 of your money from your job and pay your QuickBooks fee. And people are like, they have these things with these monthly payments, and they think that they're not going to make or generate that money. And I say, if you think you're not going to make no money in your business, why did you start the business?
Right.
So it's stuff like that. When I say stuff like that, people are like, oh, I never thought about it like that. If my business cannot generate $10 a month, I don't need to be in business. If I don't think my business can generate $10 a month, why would I start a business? It's a mindset, and it's almost like a lack mindset that we have. Not that you, want to go in business and be like, oh, I'm going to make $100,000 my first month. If you're not an influencer or a celebrity, on social media, they can do that stuff. It is certain people out here that can sell, they can sell anything, and it works for them. But your business may be totally different. There are things that people are more excited to buy than they are with other things. I have a financial services business. So when I was doing financial literacy, it's not like people was beating down my door to learn about how to budget. But when I talked about buying a house, they were so excited to get their credit fixed. So I'm not also a product-based business. Women love makeup and lip gloss. I don't know that their sales are going to be different from mine, because people literally will buy those things even if they don't have any money. Right. You know what I mean? So you have to know your industry. You have to know your business. But the first thing you need to do is understand the money. You need to understand your bottom line. And that it literally is like the last thing that people want to do. They want to do all that other stuff, all that cute stuff that doesn't really make a business. Because I can tell you right now, nobody has ever asked me for my logo. People often direct people to my website because I've spent so much money on it. So you're going to go to my website. But people, if I'm on Facebook, will want to sit there and Facebook message me. So the things that people put stock in when it comes to starting a business, your first thing needs to be, what payment processors am I going to accept? How am I going to track money coming in and out of my business? That needs to be the first thing, because that's what matters. If your business is not generating money, you don't have a business.
Right.
Okay, so I think that was everything so far.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to eliminating waste, how does like bookkeeping and all of that come into play?
Okay, so that's another thing. So people get into business and they be like, I'm going to just spend all this money because everything is a tax deduction, right? Mm-hmm. So people, when you come from being an individual, you're used to getting a refund. So they get into this mindset of receiving one lump sum of money one time a year. And I asked them, I said, is your purpose in business to receive one lump sum at one time a year, or is it to receive lump sums throughout the year? So you don't want to, and what I see people do is buy in their business because they think everything is a tax deduction and they know they can write it off, instead of really making decisions for their business that will increase their return on investment. So that's why having bookkeeping shows you, if you have a advertising budget and you're not seeing your revenue increase, maybe you're investing in the wrong type of advertising. Looking at your numbers tells a story behind your business. But because we grew up not understanding how to manage personal finances anyway, that carries over into how we manage our business finances. We literally run it the same way we do our personal. So if you see a lot of money in your personal account, what are you going to do? Spend it. They do the same thing in business. They're like, I got a lot of money, I can go spend it. People don't necessarily track their personal money. They don't have a budget. They don't look at their bank statements. They just spend money until they get some more money. People do that same thing in business, and what it does is it creates a whole nother rat race of where you're like, I gotta do more, I gotta produce more, I gotta do more, instead of looking at what your numbers are telling you and making business decisions according to that. You could always have more customers, correct, but your pricing may be wrong. You may not have any systems in place to follow up with people. That may be why you're not bringing money into your business. You may be investing in the wrong target demographic. All of this stuff is connected to looking at your numbers. And if you're not looking at your numbers and you're waiting to accumulate a bunch of receipts at the end of the year to put that together to complete your taxes, that is where the disservice becomes, because you don't know what's going on in your business, and that's what your numbers tell you. I hope that makes sense.
You said a lot. All of that was great. But one thing that really stood out to me, what you just said, was how you handle your personal finances it'll reflect and it'll show up in how you manage your business. And yes. I think the whole premise of this series that I'm doing is for us to have like better money management all around. So to the aspiring entrepreneurs, if you know that things are chaotic in how you manage your personal finances and you just splurge, and you just blowing money fast, please know that those are things that need to get under control and in check before you even think about running someone else, running a business and, being your own brand, because that's, if that's how you manage your personal finances, and what'll happen is you're going to end up having a messy business, right? And another
very messy
that you said was about, investing in the right resources. So having someone to follow up. I can't tell you how many times I've reached out to someone about their services or a book or like an online course, and they'll get back to me like 2 weeks later. Well, now I'm not interested.
Right.
So it's just
because you didn't want my money. Because when I wanted to give it to you, you didn't want it.
Right. And a lot of times these are conversations I might have with my husband or my friends. I'm like, you can tell the people who really don't want money. Like, I'm all for supporting our people and, you know, trying to put my money back into the community or whatever. But sometimes I just have a hard time with really even understanding like how they run their business. It's like, do you want to make money? Are you selective of whose money you want? I mean, like, what? I'm not understanding because the follow-up is just awful sometimes.
Well, what happened? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, I think people need to be mindful of all of that, because I feel like customer service, follow-up communication, all of those things, they contribute to whether or not people want to spend money with you. And if they
Right.
spend money with you the first time, are they going to be a repeat customer if they didn't have a great customer experience?
Right. So that's because when we start businesses, they're just so excited to actually do the business that they don't work on the business. So the first thing that people lack is a sense of processes and systems. And so this is what I teach when I do business consulting with different entrepreneurs. I ask them to look at their job. Like, your job has systems and processes. How we answer the phone, how we complete work, how we work, like policies and procedures. Those are things that people don't set up because those are things that have sometimes big investments. So I'll just talk about payment processes. People will receive Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Square. They'll send invoices through another system, cash, check, whatever, because they're so eager to make a sale. It's cool. You're starting out. I get it. But that's literally 5 or 6 different ways that you accept money. I say, how many ways does Target accept money? They say, well, cash, card. I don't even think a lot of people take personal check anymore. They say, so cash or card. I can't go into Target and be like, can you take this PayPal? I can't go in there and say, can you scan my Cash App? So when you are starting out in business, you have to have systems and policies in place, or customers will literally do whatever they want to do with your business.
Right.
So that's the first thing. Then, as far as follow-up and closing it, I want to kind of talk about pricing in this. If you don't follow up, you can't close the sale, so that means you don't have revenue. A lot of people think they need business loans because a lot of money, they need the cash flow flowing into their business. When in actuality, the pricing is wrong. So this is another thing that I talk to my coaching clients about. I'm like, you don't need a business loan. You are not pricing your products and services accordingly.
Right.
You wouldn't know that if you're not looking at your numbers. You think, I just want to do more. And it's like, no, you need to work smarter, not harder. But a coach is something that people don't want to invest in just because it takes a lot of money, and that people don't want to waste money in business, which is so funny to me because they waste money in personal stuff. Like, you bought something and it was like, oh, this was a waste of money. But when it comes to business, people are like, I don't want to waste money. And I tell people, you cannot have that fear, because there are vendors out here that, will take advantage of you, or their services aren't what they say they are. And you will waste money in business. It's not that you made a mistake or you're dumb and you don't know. You might have did adequate research or whatever, but you're going to waste money in business. So if you've never ran a business, you don't have any entrepreneurial things, you need to invest in things so you either don't make mistakes. And if you like making mistakes, cool. But if you want to learn from somebody else's mistakes, you're going to have to pay for that and make that investment in yourself. I had a coach that I paid $1,000 a month. I didn't have $1,000 a month. I was just starting out in business, but I had a credit card. So I invested $7,000 to $8,000 in myself, and now I make that in a month.
Right.
So that and it's just going from a different mindset. So the mindset is not how much it's going to cost me. It is literally how much is this going to make me.
I like that. And then lastly, I wanted to, while we're on the topic of maximizing income, Have you seen any like tax nightmares this like tax season with entrepreneurs, people who aren't tax?
Oh, absolutely. I have my clients are tax ready. For everybody else that has came to me, they're like, "Oh, I have to give you this receipt." I'm like, "Nope, nope, no, no, no. You go through those receipts. I'll give you a spreadsheet, but I'm not going through your receipts for a whole year unless you want to pay a pretty penny." They have receipts. They're not tracking their expenses. They don't really know what's deductible as far as being a business owner. They don't know how much money they made because they're putting their business money in their personal account and just spending it all together. What else have I seen? Well, a few years ago, one lady came into my office and she pulled her wig off because she was tired of going through receipts, and she just told me, forget it, whatever I had, just use that. So it's a lot of different stuff with tax season that comes up or that I see. And I really try in the first, few years, I really tried to maximize the refund because, it's their first year. They're either had a loss in their business or they're used to getting a refund. So I try to do what I can do to maximize their refund, of course, in the legal ramifications. But I tell them, you don't want to get in the habit of receiving a refund for your business. Like, you want to get to the point where your tax liability is reduced or you're not paying taxes at all. And that is such a foreign concept to an individual who's used to getting a refund, because they worked all year. So it's really a huge mind shift becoming an entrepreneur that people just don't know or don't take into account. And they're listening to the wrong people, like your friends and sometimes your spouses don't know. So people are very surprised when I say I don't involve my spouse in my business. And they're like, well, why not? I'm like, first of all, my husband he believes in going to work. So when I told him that I was quitting my job and that I was starting a business, he wasn't like Team Emerald, okay? We were like, we had this plan, and it was the plan for me to have a job and go to work every day. And me being an entrepreneur and maybe making money or maybe not making any money was not in our plan. And so I respected that because his mindset, he's a worker. Now, he's going to go to work every day. That's him. So when I was having trials and tribulations in my business, I wasn't sharing that with him because I know how that would have affected him. And, when I spend money in business, I don't talk to him about that because sometimes it's large amounts. And that would freak him out. So sometimes your support is not from people around you. So all of my friends now are entrepreneurs. So when I tell them I'm spending this or doing that, they ask me the appropriate questions like, okay, well, what is this going to do to your business? Where are you trying to take your business with this? What does this mean for you? How does this affect your bottom line? So I think people accept advice from the wrong people, and then, once they get a negative, kind of remark, that shuts them down. So I had one client that was like, my husband told me I didn't need to invest in a business coach. And I said, well, does your husband run a business? And of course the answer was no. And so she let her husband stop her from investing in her growth because he said he didn't think she needed it. I said, oh, okay. Well, I'll talk to you later. Call me if you have any questions or need to know anything. But that was all that I could do because her mind wasn't ready to accept that she needed additional help. And I was cool with that. Everybody's not ready. But you have to find a support. There's usually a group of entrepreneurs. Any city that I've been in, I know there's a group of entrepreneurs, other women that can help, or whatever the case may be. You have to talk to like-minded people in order to grow as an entrepreneur.
Yes, mindset is something that keeps coming up in every single episode, but also in an episode I just recorded, we talked a lot about who you share certain things with. And, the harsh reality is even sometimes our closest friends, right, our family members, if they haven't walked this entrepreneur journey or walked sometimes when you tell them, hey, I'm starting my business, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, their negative comments will talk you right out of the very thing that you need the most. So yes, went, let's say, to my parents and said, oh, I'm about to invest in a financial coach. Number one, they're going to be like, what is that? Two,
Right.
they're going to be like, that sounds like that costs a lot of money. Three, they're not going to understand why I'm considering spending the money, because they've never run their own business. So I always tell people to be cautious of what and with who they share certain things with, because some people, I hate to say it, like sometimes people's, their level of thinking is like so small, and not to say that you should think you're better than someone or above anyone, but you just have to be conscious of, if you know that you're pursuing X, Y, and Z, and other people aren't used to that, it's not familiar to them, they're naturally going to fear what they don't know. So they're going to talk you out of doing it, or question you, or make you feel like you're stupid for wanting to do whatever it is. So
right.
You said that you have to know, like you have to have a support system, and you have to know who you can tell certain things to.
Right, because that is so important, and it's like it's a different type of support than just on a personal level. Like, can I talk to my husband about personal stuff? Absolutely. Do we need to talk about business stuff? Absolutely not. And that is okay. That's what I go to my friends for, and that you have to have that, because people who go to work every day have a totally different just risk, like a risk that they are willing to take, that people who are entrepreneurs don't have those same kind of restrictions, and you can't talk to somebody who isn't there. So I always tell people, I don't take advice from people who are not living the life that I want to live. So I don't even ask them. Like, you literally have nothing to say to me. And it's not that you're a bad person, or I hate you, or I dislike you. You're just not trying to live the life and to do the things that I'm trying to do. So I have nothing to ask you.
Right. Amen to that. Now, what are some of the common pitfalls that you've seen with entrepreneurs since you've been in business?
Okay. Well, that's so many. I'll just talk about keeping with finances. They just don't do it. So I had one potential client. I was like, well, don't you want to know how much you're making or how much you're spending? It was like, well, I just look at my bank statement. I'm like, okay, well, really all your bank statement tells you is how much you spent for a month. It doesn't really tell you or offset that against your income. Yeah, you can have your deposits go into your bank account, but that really doesn't tell you anything. It doesn't tell you how much you spent on advertising. It doesn't tell you how much you spent on, meals and entertainment. It doesn't tell you how much you spent on professional services. It just literally tells you how much you spent. So that doesn't do anything. And you're not going to do that until the end of the year when you're trying to get everything together for taxes. And that's the thing. A lot of people want to be, and I say this all the time, a lot of people want to be entrepreneurs until it's time to pay taxes. They don't want to do the business part of the business. Like, they'd be like, I don't want to pay these taxes. I don't want to report this income. I don't have all my expenses together. Or, they don't want to pay a tax preparer. They'd be like, okay, well, I can just do it on TurboTax. I can do that. Or I don't want to pay your fee. This girl, she started her business, and she was like, I'm only used to getting $1,000 back because she did her own taxes. I got her a refund of $9,800. This is all legal. I don't do nothing illegal. I got her a refund of $9,800. Do you think she paid me my fee? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So there are benefits of having somebody who specializes in these things helping you in your business. And I don't think people take that as serious. Like, I'm in the tax world. I do the taxes. I see trends and all of that. That's what I do. So to invest in an expert within your business, is crucial. I always say this. A lot of people want to be for-profit businesses, but don't want to pay for business services. I'm like, how do you want somebody to pay you your worth, your price, but you don't want to pay other people their price and their worth? I'm like, how do you want everything cheap in your business? I'm like, if your business looks cheap, runs cheap, feels cheap, what type of customer do you think you're going to attract?
Cheap.
I'm like, if you look like you don't spend no money on your business, why would I want to spend money on your business? It's a mindset. I'm like, you are going to have to pay for services. If you run payroll, if you ain't going to do that by hand, you are going to have to pay a payroll service. If you don't want to touch your taxes or your bookkeeping, you're going to have to pay somebody to do that. And I said, do you think these companies make money by not having business managers, by not having accountants, by not having tax accountants, by not having lawyers? I said, do you think, and I use Amazon because everybody is an Amazon Prime member, do you think Amazon got to making $1 billion and not paying no taxes on that because they didn't want to invest? They spent, I can guarantee you, they spend tons of money in their tax accountants to not have to pay taxes. You have to spend money to make money. And people be so tight with their business money because they don't think they're going to get no more money in their business. I'm like, why would you operate like that?
Right. Wow.
So
that was great. That was great. Yeah. And like whether people have like what's the word for it? I don't know, like in-person stores. I know there's a word, but it's not coming to mind.
Oh, brick and mortar.
Yes, brick and mortar stores, or if it's online, right? I feel like if you have an online service or online products that you serve after sale, I think that you almost have to work twice as hard with as far as brand management. Like you said, all like down to all the operations, you're going to have to spend money to make money, because I can't tell you how many websites I've gone to and it's just like, who did this? Like, presentation is everything, right? And like starting out, you may not be able to afford or whatever, but I think that if you want to gain like more momentum, get more clientele, like appearance sales, the way you handle transaction sale, all of those things. I know that this one time I was trying to buy a book from someone, and this is not to like, I don't know if you're an entrepreneur and you're listening, you take only Cash App payments or Venmo payments. But to me, it was just like, I wouldn't say it was sketchy, but I was just like, well, dang, like on, like, you know, from your social media accounts, you would think that you have some other type of way to accept payments. Like, it was just like, oh, send me a payment via Venmo. And it was like some like ghetto tag name. And I was like, I think not.
That ghetto tag name. See, the ghetto tag name is for you.
Yeah.
But yes.
Like, you could tell that was a personal Venmo account, but I'm pretty sure you can make more than one account through Venmo and Cash App. You could have done something solely for your business, right? So it's like, even down to that, it just sometimes make me worry. Like, I love supporting people and all of that good stuff. And I understand you got to start somewhere, but like, I was like, nah, I'm good. I'll be right back after this message. Today's episode was brought to you by Anchor, my podcast host. I chose Anchor to host my podcast for several reasons. Number one, it's free. 2, the convenience. They have several creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. They even distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on many different platforms such as Spotify and Apple Podcasts. You can make money from podcasting. Yes, you can make money with no minimum listenership. If you're interested in starting a podcast today, everything you need to know, you can learn at Anchor.fm to get started. Thank you. what are some of the investment vehicles for entrepreneurs so that they can save and invest to prepare for retirement?
So what I have used while I've become an entrepreneur is an IRA and also in a Roth IRA. There are other options called SEP IRAs. And there's also other vehicles that if you have employees that allow you to like have retirement plans for your employees. But that was never my like realm of expertise. I had just kept my IRA and my Roth IRA that I had while I was an employee. So what I started doing was just contributing, of course, less money to those retirement vehicles when I became an entrepreneur. I would say the first 2 years of entrepreneurship, I really didn't invest. Everything kind of went back into my business and then into my personal bills and things like that. But as I was able to grow my business and things like that, I started reinvesting in my IRA and my Roth IRA. So I had those set up on automatic withdrawals from my account, just like I did when I was, working at a job. So, you don't get a 401k, so that's not an option, but you can still invest in the IRA as long as your income is earned income. So when you start taking like dividend income from your business, or that's when you change your business, like how it's taxed and all that complicated stuff. I won't get into that, but you have to have earned income in order to be able to contribute to an IRA. So that is just something to be mindful of. And then I also use other vehicles like Robinhood. I have a regular brokerage account with my investment advisor. So I utilize the same tools that I did when I had a job. I just am able to, that just takes time to get back into investing when you become an entrepreneur.
Gotcha. And to wrap things up, how do you help entrepreneurs? Like what are all the services you offer?
So for just layman's terms of what I do, I offer tax prep for your business. So whether that's a 1040, an LLC, a S Corp or C Corp, I offer, or you have a nonprofit, I know how to prepare taxes for all of those. I do bookkeeping, so if you are familiar with that, I organize your finances, help you understand your numbers and what they are telling you and communicating with you about your business. Most bookkeepers will kind of just categorize your transactions and keep you organized so that you are tax ready. But what I do, because I have business experience, I try to help you understand your numbers, like making sure you're not wasteful, like talking about, your income to sales ratios, like all those financial ratios that if you took like a base level accounting class, you're like, what is this for? I kind of help you understand and decipher what your profit and loss statement is saying to you. Plus I give tax strategies, business growth strategies, and things like that as an added value to my bookkeeping services. Then I also have a business consulting program. So I don't like to call it coaching because I'm actually working with you to devise a plan of action for your business. So I have business consulting program that is for 6 months that I help small business with. It includes aspects of social media, marketing, of course, finances, just like processes and systems, structure and things like that, of course, taxes. So those are the kind of 3 ways that I work with small business owners.
Okay, nice. Now, for entrepreneurs who may be interested in your services, how can they reach you? Like, what are your social, I'm tongue twisted, social platforms?
So on Facebook, I'm Emerald Sparks, just my name. My business page is Emerald Sparks Ltd. On Instagram, She's a Gem. It's spelled funny, but it's literally spelled the way it sounds. So it's SHEZAGEM. I'm on Twitter as Emerald Sparks ES. And then, of course, to work directly with me and make a consultation, which is complimentary, or to find out anything that I'm offering or doing, always go to my website, which is just emeraldsparks.com.
Thank you. Well, we are very appreciative for you talking all things business and finances with us today. Do you have any last takeaways or points that you want to drive home for the Yellow Room audience?
I do, because I've seen a lot of this for this tax season. So if you have an LLC, I want you to know that your business income and your personal income, if you still work and you receive a W-2 or 1099, if you're an independent contractor or whatever, they're all reported on the same form. So a lot of people this season have came to me and said, I prepared my personal taxes. Can you do my business taxes? And I'm like, I'm now going to need to file an amendment, because that information should have been reported on the same form. So don't get out here and get scammed or tricked and let anybody tell you that they can file each of them separately. If you're an LLC, it goes on the same form. So that's what I want to end this with.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Yep, there you go.
Well, thank you for that tip. And again, thank you so much for saying yes to being a part of the Money Moves series.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. I'll be right back after this message. Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode. If you are new here, please consider subscribing on whatever platform you're listening in on today. Leave me a rating, leave me a review, comment, whatever you feel that you want to do. If you already consider yourself a part of the Yellow Room family, please consider making a small monthly donation to sustain and contribute to my growing platform. No amount is too small. Donations can be made at anchor.fm/theyellowroom/support. If you are unable to, I still love you just the same. You can still support me by listening, sharing, and providing feedback. I thank you all so much, and I appreciate your continued listenership. Thank you.